Some may decide to follow through with their dreams of buying a theme park, but some will realize that it's a little bit more complicated than it looks. Security guards, ride maintenance, concession workers all need a salary, and sometimes it turns out to be a financial nightmare. From abandoned Disneylands in China to failed theme parks in Europe, here are 11 abandoned amusement parks. Number 11. Chernobyl Amusement Park. You probably don't want to bring your kids to play on this swing set or to take a ride on this Ferris wheel anytime soon. Pripyat had many facilities that the families of the power plant workers could enjoy, but they never had the chance to enjoy this amusement park. It was set to open May 1st, 1986, just weeks after the meltdown took place. The radiation levels here vary, and it's believed that helicopters carrying radioactive material used this place right here as a landing strip. This photo here displays the grim remains of the bumper cars that would have brought much joy to the children of the city. Now they're left to rust within the Chernobyl exclusion zone, gather dust, and erode away from the elements. Possibly the most iconic image of the Chernobyl exclusion zone would be this Ferris wheel. The photo is captured from an aerial view, and it shows a large amount of trees that have sprung up since no one is there to clean them out. Number 10. Nara Dreamland. Japan has some great theme parks, no doubt, but Nara Dreamland ranks very high on the list of creepiest abandoned theme parks out there, and you'll only see this one in Japan. This place was built to look very much like Disneyland in America, but it was left abandoned after only a decade due to lack of attendance. It only closed about 10 years ago, and Mother Nature is starting to take over her territory once again. The centerpiece was once this beautiful castle, and now it just remains unvisited. Eventually, a real estate business purchased the park for about a price of 730 yen. The demolition process began to take place in 2016, and in 2017, it was finally gone. So too bad you can't see it anymore. Number 9. Six Flags New Orleans. Roller coasters are all fun and games until Hurricane Katrina comes knocking at your front door. Mother Nature released her fury on the Big Easy, and one of the victims was Six Flags New Orleans. This is one of the creepiest amusement parks. Her fury on the Big Easy coasters that are 100% totally abandoned to this day. When Hurricane Katrina flooded the park, everything was too damaged to repair, and it was just easy to let it rot. There have been plenty of attempts to rebuild the amusement park, all of which completely failed. Trespassers looking to get some creepy urban photos are prosecuted, and cameras are set up on the property. Maybe because they don't want you to find the ghost here. There's just something flat out creepy about a place that's meant to be fun becoming victim of urban decay, as you can tell from this roller coaster ride. This one here is known as the Jester, that no longer hosts thrill-seeking attendants. To add to the creepy factor, there's also been different accidents and tragedies at this theme park, well before it was hit by a hurricane. So you have to certainly believe it has some potential to be haunted as well. But if anything, the ghosts of Hurricane Katrina certainly still haunt all the attractions here, and no one will be getting on the roller coasters anytime soon. But first, we'd like to thank this subscriber for leaving us this comment. Let us know what you think about the video, and maybe we'll feature you. Wonderland. Outside of Beijing, China, lies an abandoned theme park called Wonderland. It certainly doesn't seem so wonderful anymore. The idea was proposed by a Thailand-based property development company that wanted to build the largest amusement park in Asia. Construction stopped in 1998, and then when they tried to finish it in 2008, they ran into some financial problems. If it were completed, it would have been one of Asia's largest theme parks and rival those in the US. China is also known for building some knockoff theme parks, which seem to be similar to the ones in the US, but are slightly different to avoid copyright laws. No one's going to pay admission to get into this place, except some urban explorers who may have found a way to get in. What's even stranger about this place is that there are people still regulating the parking here so they can get some money for the parking tolls. In this photo, you see the frame of the Disneyland-like castle and the would-be centerpiece for this park. The tower is surrounded by cornfields, and citizens have started using the land for farming. Finally, in 2013, the castle was scrapped for parts. Number 7. Batatsmida. Located near the capital city of Tbilisi is a famous amusement park that was once full of fun carousels, water slides, roller coasters, and a big Ferris wheel that gave onlookers a wonderful view. The park is situated at a high elevation for the area, but it reached a serious low point when the whole thing became abandoned. Built by the Soviet Union as a place that was supposed to be fun, it was the third most visited park in all of the Union. But as we know, great things don't last forever, and in this video, you can probably already guess what happened. Political instabilities in the area and wealthy Russian people who owned the park disagreed with the new president of the region. Refusal to pay certain taxes or other claims by the Georgian government eventually led to the abandonment. Here we see a creepy abandoned troll or gnome statue, and he seems sad because there's no more people. It's a strange sight to see an amusement park completely frozen in time. Number 6. Spree Park. Another Soviet-built amusement park, this time in eastern Germany, is a very spooky place that you shouldn't consider going to. It originally opened under the name of Kulturpark Planderwald, covering 24 acres of land in 1969. There were all kinds of dinosaur statues, crazy roller coasters, and all kinds of things for children to enjoy. The government felt as though the parking was taking up too much space, and they took away about 3,000 parking spaces. Attendance began to decline rapidly in the newly free eastern Germany. Eventually, bankruptcy was filed, and the new owner was even worse off at $21 million in debt. The owner, strangely enough, shipped some of his amusement rides off to Lima, Peru, but the park is still littered with remnants of the past. Here we see an abandoned pirate ship, no longer in its former glory. The photo of the evil-looking cat was a part of the ride known as Spree Blitz, and is probably a whole lot scarier now that it's abandoned. Number 5. Sofia Land. This abandoned amusement park is located in the capital city of Bulgaria, Sofia, and it was once one of the largest parks in southeastern Europe. It's located near the Sofia Zoo, and construction began in 2001. The park opened the next year, and everyone thought it would work out just fine. And 11 all-age attractions were featured here. Don't forget about the plethora of bars, restaurants, coffeehouses, clubs, and even a bowling alley found here. Plans to eventually change the park took place, but only 5 years later, they unexpectedly closed off access to the park. This photo here shows the front gates, which resembled a castle, and now they're closed off for anyone trying to get in. Number 4. American Adventure. Isn't it great how countries want to get an American experience to the point where they actually build an entire theme park dedicated to our American greatness? The American Adventure was opened up in Derbyshire in England, and it was said to be a pretty cool place. The site opened up in 1985, but luck didn't appear to be on the owner's side from the get-go. The founder, Peter Collard, was arrested and imprisoned for fraud just a year later, and it sold off to another company. Some of the American rides featured here included a log ride, a runaway mine train, the Buffalo Stampede roller coaster, pirate ship, and a Ferris wheel, to name a few. Some problems with the land it was built on caused some smaller attractions to shut down, which turned out to be a bigger bummer than anyone had expected. All the way up until the last year it was in operation, there have been plans to open up new rides here. Unexpectedly, though, in 2006, the park had shut down. Number 3. Where did the carnival go? With a fairly unstable market in amusement parks these days, newly abandoned places can be spotted occasionally on Google Earth, and that seems to be the case here. A Reddit user found this creepy spot in Quipoleti, Argentina, on Rio Negro. This makes you wonder, where did all the clowns go? Had they been released and are now roaming on the streets or what? The place looks like it would have been fun at some point in time, but now it just looks downright evil. Buy a ticket, but only if you dare. Number 2. Wunderland Kalkar. For this next one, we're going to take a quick look at the opposite of what we've been looking at before. What if we told you things that were abandoned can actually be turned into an amusement park? Take a wild guess at what this structure used to be used for at one point in time. That's right. This is a nuclear cooling tower just north of the city of Dusseldorf. The site was purchased for $3 million, and most people have thought that the person who bought it for that price was totally nuts. The site used to be a nuclear power plant that didn't turn out to be successful and ended up costing $5.3 billion. So if you look at it that way, it kind of seems like a steal. If that much money got put into it, might as well give it a shot, right? In any case, Wunderland now gets 600,000 visitors a year. Go figure. If you zoom in, you can actually see grooves on the cooling tower, and people actually climb that thing. And number 1, Mirapolis. This theme park celebrated French literature and culture and is located in the city of Courdimanche. After encountering quite a few problems from the get-go, it closed down in 1991. They probably didn't construct this place realizing how horrifically creepy it would be once it got totally abandoned. It was almost like the French version of Disneyland, but with all the French characters. Possibly one of the creepier parts of this was the Dame Tartrine that you see in this photo. Some things such as the Dragon of Sortilege that we saw earlier in the Spree Park actually came from this spooky place. Eventually, this dream park turned into a nightmare and couldn't turn a profit. It disappointed quite a few foreign investors, but in any case, it's been used as a training location for the GIGN, or French Special Forces. Plans to turn the area into an eco-refuge may bring some people to the area, but not as many as they'd originally planned.